If you haven't heard by now, PlayStation has announced that in 2028, they are going to completely end all physical games production. That means no more discs for literally anyone. Every game is going to be digital, and this is a clear sign that the PlayStation 6 and its upcoming handheld will be 100% digital-only consoles. It's something that's been written in stone, and it's something that has been basically signaled to us for years now that this is what's going to be happening. We've seen it with stores stop carrying physical games. We've seen it with PlayStation releasing a digital-only PS5 Pro and selling a separate disc drive because they're trying to guide you towards this digital-only future. And to a lot of people, that really fucking sucks. In fact, more people than not are screaming from the rooftops that this is the worst decision PlayStation has ever made, and that because of it, they won't be supporting PlayStation in the future. PlayStation 5 will be their final PlayStation console. They won't buy any more hardware. They won't buy any more games. If it's not physical, no buy. That's what they're saying. Do I believe it? Not really. I think a lot of people are being vocal about this because I think they have a reason to be upset. I'm upset for it. I'm part of the problem. Let's get that out of the way, okay? I've been digital only for literally like 20 years. I don't buy anything physical except for retro games. I have a nice collection of retro games. This is not all of them, whatever, but I have a bunch of retro games. N64 games, PS1 games, mostly cartridge games. I think those are really cool as physical copies, and I think the Japanese style is really, really nice. I love Japanese box art. That's what I'm into. I think once things became on disc, it was like, sure, there's a few games that I love on physical. Like, for example, I still have my Halo original copy. I love Halo. Most of the stuff I traded in because when I was young, you know, you don't have money and you want new games, you got to trade in your stuff. So I lost most of my games. But once things became digital, it just started to be easier for me, I guess. So I started to go digital only. And a lot of people did. And you could see that very clearly with the way that sales numbers are indicated, where it's like the majority of sales come from digital only. Everything on Steam is digital only. Half of the games on PlayStation are digital only because, you know, indie games usually don't get a physical release. And when they do through something like Limited Run, it takes like 19 years for it to come out. So while it sucks to lose the option for physical, because I think that option should exist for people who do want it and for people who do want to continue on that path of just having something to throw up on their shelf, or for having something that they can easily lend to a friend, or for something that they can feel like it truly belongs to them. Because we're headed into a future where basically you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the big claim, the claim to fame that's going around, is that we are entering a digital-only future where everything is licenses, everything is subscriptions, you don't own a goddamn thing. And even the things that you think you own, you gotta pay a subscription for just to keep them running. It's fucked. And it's a way for these corporations to basically bleed you dry for your entire life so that you're always spending money on them, always giving them money, always guaranteeing that you are a customer, because that's what matters to them most. They don't give a single fuck that you are upset about physical production ending. They don't care that you can't trade in your games. They don't care that you can't lend it to a friend. And if you think that video from the PlayStation 4 era of Shu handing the PS4 copy to, I can't remember the other guy's name, going, this is how you play games with your friends on PS4. And he just hands him the copy. Here you go, take the copy. If you think they did that because they truly believe in the power of physical, you're out of your mind, dude. They did that 100% as a marketing tactic to just shove it down Xbox's throat of how badly they fucked up and how they can leap onto this opportunity. And that was one of the smartest things that PlayStation's ever done and one of the dumbest things that Xbox has ever done. And since then, it's been a non-stop struggle for Xbox to regain its footing because PlayStation obliterated them so badly. But guess what, dude? Xbox is going digital only. Do people care as much? No. You know why? Because nobody fucking plays on Xbox, and Xbox players have been ingrained to just play Game Pass, which is digital only. So you're not gonna get those games physical anyway because you're gonna play them through Game Pass. Because why pay full price for a game when you could play it for fucking $12.99 or whatever it is? And I understand even through that. There are people who are like, no, not me. I don't do Game Pass. I only do physical. Physical is my life. And yes, maybe you live in a place where internet kind of sucks. So downloading a digital copy would take hours and it would be really annoying. I totally get that. There are these fringe cases that do exist. For example, there's that story of like some guy who's like, I work on a submarine, so I need physical games because digital, it just doesn't work for me. I can't connect to the internet. I can't download games. I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And absolutely that happens. And if you're one of those people, you represent like 0.1% of 0.1%. It's an extremely rare case and it sucks for you. And it sucks that you have to be put in that position because now you have to make a choice. But when it really comes down to it, PlayStation doesn't give a fuck, dude. They do not care. If we look at what PlayStation is doing, they're basically saying we want full control of our ecosystem. We want full control of our pricing. We want full control of what you do with your games. We want full control with games you're able to access. And we want full control of everything that goes on with PlayStation. When you buy a game directly from PlayStation, we get full money. If you buy a game used from GameStop, guess what we get? Nothing. If you give a game to your friend, guess what we get? Nothing. If you buy a game off eBay, guess what we get? Nothing. That's not what they're interested in. So they're not thinking, oh man, we really got to support trading in games. That's really big for us. Why? They don't make any money from it. In fact, they lose money because that's a sale lost for them. And producing the disc is cost for them, even though it costs basically nothing. There's a lot of people that saying that PlayStation is essentially doing this because it costs too much money to run this factory of printing discs. No, it doesn't. It is a cost, and it is now becoming a cost that's now like getting up to a point where it's like, you know, it's starting to cost a little bit more than it's worth because nobody's buying physical anymore. So now it's becoming like an issue, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it's costing them literally nothing. They produce these discs at such high volume that it's costing them literally like a penny per disc. Something so many, like a complete package, printing the paper, printing the plastic casing, printing the disc, putting it in a case. It's like per game, it's like 20 cents, dude. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. And sure, at scale, 20 cents times a million, whatever, costs a lot of money, but technically it costs nothing. And if they sell, you know, that cost is covered day one sales, 100%. It's not a big deal. But if they can remove that cost, because right now it's kind of not making sense to them anymore, then there you go. And you even have the former head of PlayStation, Sean Layden, basically saying, even 10 years ago, they were having this discussion of when can we cut physical games? It's starting to not make sense. More people are going digital only. More and more people every day are going digital only. What are we doing this for? It was only a matter of time. And yes, people are fucking pissed about it. Every single comment on Twitter is somebody telling PlayStation to go fuck themselves for ending physical production. Every time PlayStation posts, there's a community note of people saying they're ending physical production and this is anti-consumerism, it's anti-choice, it's all these things, fuck PlayStation. And their comments are just filled with people basically saying like, address the elephant in the room, everything is fucked, fuck you, we hate you. And they're well within their right, man. I personally do think it's dumb to end the physical production just because there are some people who want it. They should go the Nintendo route. The physical copies should be $10 more and the digital copies should be $10 less. That's the solution. But that's only a solution for PlayStation 5, because I think what's going to happen is the PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 6 handheld are guaranteed to be digital only devices. Guaranteed. Will they sell that separate disc drive? Yes. But I think that separate disc drive is only going to play PS5 games and PS4 games, whatever, you know, so that you could do backwards compatibility. But the PlayStation 6 is digital only, man. You got to get that in your head. And if that's going to stop you from buying it, totally fair. Totally fair. But what's your alternative? Xbox is digital only. PC is digital only. Nintendo wants to go digital only, but they really believe in their Japanese fan base, of course. So they'll go physical only there, but they might cut off the rest of the world. Maybe. They're already doing that double price scheme because they want you to go digital only. And there's a lot of stuff about people saying, well, I can't buy digital only because they're gonna, at any point in time, just remove the game from my library. They'll just rip the game from my hands and I won't be able to access the game that I purchased. Tell me when that has happened. When? When has that happened? And don't say PT, because PT was a demo, not a real game, and it was free. So if they decide to pull a demo, oh well, dude. Yeah, it sucks, PT's cool, but guess what? Here's another thing, everybody pay attention to this, okay? Let me let you in on a little secret, dude. You can download PT on PC in 5 seconds, and it runs better and looks nicer than it did on PS4. And guess who's played it? Me. You can even play it in VR, dude, and it's awesome. So all these people saying, well, without physical games, we can't accurately preserve a game. There's no record of the game anymore. It's just gone. If they pull it from their network, it's gone. Let me tell you what, dude, you can pirate every fucking game that ever has existed. There's a copy of it. So all these older games, you'll be able to download whatever you want, man. Is it legal? No. But if they're going to pull the game, fuck them. What do you care? Also, it'll be a digital only version of the game, of course, because, you know, if you're pirating it, it means it's on your PC. You don't have a physical copy. You could burn it to a disc if you really wanted to. But the preservation thing doesn't make sense to me. I think it should exist as a consumer thing. It should exist as a collector's thing. If you want physical copies, awesome. You should be able to buy it. But I think that's going to stop at PS5. And I don't think anything that we say or do is going to end that. Even these like collector's editions that they'll make for PS6, they'll have a digital key in it. Because the PlayStation 6 will be digital only. And another sign that it is guaranteed is the release of GTA 6 being a digital-only game with no intent of ever producing a disc. And if that game's going to be digital only, and we already know for a fact that in every region of PlayStation, it is currently the highest seller, and the game still isn't coming out for like 5 months, it means that nobody gives a fuck. And it's just proving PlayStation's point that they can release a game. I mean, it's not them releasing it, but a game can release that's digital only and blow everybody out of the water. And then you look at some of the indie games that are huge, massive successes. Yeah, sure, they exist on Steam, but like Mecha Chameleon has sold like 15 million copies. Digital only. Didn't stop anybody. I get it. I get the argument. I get wanting to have the disc. I get wanting to feel like you're in control of the disc. I get it. I totally get it, man. Physical stuff is cool. Collecting stuff is cool. Unfortunately, this is the future that we're headed towards. And the only way, the literal only way to get them to reverse this decision, which I don't think they will because PlayStation 6 is going to be digital only, and that's not going to change. The hardware is set in stone right now. It's not going to change. Basically, everybody needs to just stop buying games, and everybody, I'm saying literally everybody, needs to not buy GTA 6. If you want them to rethink their digital-only future, do not buy GTA 6. But it's not going to happen because, like I just said, GTA 6 is already the highest-selling game everywhere. It's unfortunate, but that's you know, we've done it to ourselves. I'm part of the problem. A lot of people are part of the problem. If we look at some of the recent stats from Millennia Analytics, 2026's top PlayStation games by copies sold and physical copy splits for 2026. FIFA 26 has 5.1 million, with only 12% of those being physical. Resident Evil 9 has 3.5 million, with roughly 30% being physical. Arc Raiders is completely digital only. 007, 2 million, with 20% being physical. Crimson Desert, 2 million, with 20% being physical. Forza Horizon 5, 1.2 million, digital only. Ghost of Yotei, 1.2 million, with 35% physical. So sure, there are people buying physical on PlayStation, but it's not a huge number. And that's only a small portion, man. A small portion. The current stat for digital physical split is something like, I want to say it's like 96-4, where 96% of games are bought digital and 4% are bought physical. So why are they appealing to the 4%? They're not, man. That number doesn't matter to them anymore. It's not big enough. They've made digital too easy for people, and they've now given too many incentives for digital. You can get games unlocks at midnight. You don't have to worry about a delay in your shipping. You don't have to worry about your copy not being in stock. You don't have to worry about your pre-order being told you could pick it up day one and then they don't have it. Digital, you got it. Then they offer these $10, you pay $10 more, you get the game 2 days early. That's digital only. Everything is being catered towards digital because yes, they want you to do that. They want everybody to do that. And for most people, it has 100% worked. Physical should exist as an option. It should. It really, really should. Especially for places where it's much harder, like, you know, in other places in the world, in Africa, in Brazil, Vietnam, in all these places, it is much easier for them to do physical. Does PlayStation care? No. They're chasing the dollars, man. And if the dollars and their information is telling them that what we need to do is do digital, and if we do digital, we'll make the most amount of money, that's what they'll do. Comes down to raw numbers at the end. That's all PlayStation cares about. Think of this at the end of the day. At the end of it all, dude, what PlayStation cares about is money. The decision that makes them the most amount of money is the right decision for them. That's what they care about. They don't care about you as a gamer. They don't care about positive press within the gaming space. What matters at the end of it all is money. And as soon as they announce that they're ending physical production, their stock price went up. That'll tell you everything you need to know, dude. The age of physical is over. And if this video ages like milk and they decide to cut this, then that's great. The outrage worked, which is what everybody wants. But right now, it really doesn't seem like it. And at most, I can see them saying, okay, we lied, we'll bring physical, but it's only going to be for PS5 games. I mean, they haven't announced PlayStation 6, anything about it, but I think if they make a statement, in their wording, it will be clear that it will be for PS5. Because if you get that handheld, you're not going to be able to play discs on it. You have to play digital games if you want the handheld. They're not going to release cartridges like Switch. Not happening, dude. The PlayStation 6 handheld will be digital only. We'll see what happens.